Hi there, this is Tamika Hall from TamikaHall.net, where we are training worshipreneurs all around the world to elevate their worship arts ministry. This is another video in the DIY ministry marketing series. And I wanted to bring this one to you because I have been getting this question a lot over the last few months, and that is how to write an actor resume. Or for those of you who do more than just act for the stage, perhaps you are a choreographer or you're a dancer, you are a psalmist, all those great things. This is how you would write your performance resume. It's really all the same thing. So let's go ahead and jump to it. The first thing I want you to understand is that your actor or your performance resume will not look like the resume that you use to apply for a regular 9 to 5 job. It's just not going to look like that. It's more simple to actually put it together, but this is an example of my resume. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's dive into how we are able to construct this. The fun thing is I actually have a template for you that you can download in Microsoft Word, and you'll be able to create your own from this. But let's go ahead and let's jump right in and get started. This is what your template's actually going to look like if you decide to use my template that I've created for you. Now, what you would start with your name. So you're going to start with your name and your affiliation. So that's if you are part of a union or if you are non-union. Now, a lot of us are non-union, so you would just put non-union under there. Now, for myself, I actually, when I was actually peddling myself as an actress or as a performer as a whole, I actually had my website there because I wanted people to be able to see that I had a lot of different dimensions, but you actually can just kind of go by what I've put together for you. So again, you can do your name, you do your affiliation. The next thing is that you're going to list your vitals. That's probably the wrong way to say that, but for example, your height, weight, hair color, eyes, your age, or your age range. A lot of people like to put their age range. For example, a lot of folks don't know that I'm actually 33 years old. They actually think I'm younger. So some folks might feel that I would be able to cast for a part where I'm 25. And so therefore I would put an age range of, maybe 25 to 35 or 25 to 40, if you feel like you can actually play that. I'm reminded of Cicely Tyson when she did Miss Jane Pittman. I think that she was only in her early 30s. It was something like that. But they actually showed her age from a very young girl all the way into a woman, I believe it was in her 80s or her 90s, right in the movie. So don't put an age range down that you can't actually perform in. If you don't think that you have the acting chops, or you don't have the acting chops to be 95 years old, I would not put that in my age range. Be realistic. There's nothing worse for a casting director than for someone who's not realistic. It's just really annoying to all of them. So the other thing is representation. So that means if you are with an agency or a manager, then you can actually put all their information. And I have that listed there for you on the right hand side. Let's continue on. The next thing that you're going to do is you want to list the different jobs that you've actually had. If we go back to my resume, I chose to start with, I did theater, television and radio, vocal performance, dance, choreography, modeling, and then I went to my training and what have you. The reason why I chose to do it that way is because I was primarily interested in booking jobs that had to do with theater. Even with me, it's funny now, I'm a vocalist, but back then I really wanted to book theater gigs. And, again, this is an old resume of mine. I haven't utilized this resume in years, and that's because I've started producing my own stuff. And so I just really haven't had the need for that. But what you would do is you pick the area, I would say to pick the area that is most relevant for you, or even the area where you have the most experience in. And so again, I just kind of went from my resume. So there I have theater, television, vocal performance, dance, choreography, etc. Now you may have a lot of television experience. You may have commercial experience. You may have film. There are a lot of different ways that you can title the different areas that you've actually worked in. And so it would be up to your discretion on how that's done. Now, basically the way that you do that is you have the name of the show. I'm dealing with the theater. So you have the name of the show, the production company, the part you played, and the producer/director. Okay, so that's really how you would do that. And you want to keep that consistent throughout because it's just easy for people to understand. Okay, now once you've actually listed your work experience, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to list your training. Training is important. Okay, this is an example of mine. I actually have a bachelor's degree in theater, as you can see here. So I have the bachelor's degree in theater from Washington College, and the director at the time was Dale Day. You can also see where I took different classes like modern dance. I took it at Heidi's Academy of the Performing Arts, and the director was Heidi Mosley. So there are different ways that you can list that, but training is important, okay? So if you've taken any type of a workshop or a class, anything, you're gonna wanna put that down there because people want that. Now, I have a miscellaneous area here on mine that is not listed on your template. And miscellaneous, that was there because if you look, you can actually see where I am a national speaker, a best-selling author. At the time, I was Mrs. Maryland Essence 2010. You know, I'd held different titles. So it was important for me. I wanted people to see that. I wanted them to see that there were different dimensions to who I was. So I had a miscellaneous area on my resume. But the next thing that you want to focus on is you want to focus on your skill set. What are your skills? And you really need to list all of them. If you look at my skill set, I have singing, dancing, choreography, modeling, basic photography. I actually have a background in the legal field. I also speak Spanish. So that was important for them to understand because I am an African-American woman who can speak, read, and write Spanish, right? I mean, who knows? A role for that might come up. I play volleyball, basketball, track, etc. So anything, whatever your skills may be, that might set you apart, you want to list that under skills. If you, for example, you might have taken gymnastics, you might be a black belt in karate. Even if you're not that high in karate, if you have a basic level in something, then it's good to list that too. Be honest and say, that it's a basic level, but you can definitely list that under there because again, it opens you up to more than what you have listed up here. And the last thing that I actually have on my resume that I did not put in your template is an area for recent performance reviews. Now, again, I was really wanting to be known on the scene for theater, and I garnered some really incredible published reviews from different publications. And so I wanted any casting director to see that and to see, for example, one said, classy stage presence and etc. And that was really important to me, that they understand that I was a classy performer, that I was versatile, that I was likable. All that stuff was really important to me. So let's move on. Okay, I just want to give you some quick tips. Some of this may seem like you should know it, but I just want to give it to you. The first thing, type your resume. Do not handwrite your resume. I don't care if Big Mama told you that you have beautiful handwriting. Absolutely not. Type it and have it printed, okay? Print it out on your computer printer. Make sure that your computer printer, the ink is good. Do not ever take anything in any other color other than black. And I should have listed that as a tip, but it just came to me. You want black ink. I personally, I'm a woman, I love hot pink. I'm one of those women who loves hot pink, but do not put that on your resume. You want to present a professional you want to present yourself as professional. You have one time to make a good impression, and the last thing that you want to do is have your resume be the reason why nobody even wants to talk to you. Okay. Second thing, be honest. Don't say that you had a certain part if you didn't have it. Don't say that you played a lead role in a production. You never know who people know. As big as the world of entertainment is, it's also very small. And so you never know who's all connected. So be honest, because the whole reason why you list the producers is because hopefully somebody is going to know someone else and know that that person has a really great reputation. So be honest in everything. The third thing is don't be discouraged. I've had people that I've sent my resume to, they say, Tamika, I feel like I don't have anything on my resume. Well, this is something I want you to understand, is that in the beginning, you want to put everything that you can on your resume. And then as it begins to build, then you start sifting out things that aren't necessarily relevant anymore. For example, if I were to dust off this resume, I of course would have to dust it off and update it. But look right here. It says 2001 and 2003 Founders Celebration. Basically, I was the choreographer and a dancer, and I was the director of that. So you can see that. But for me, it was important that for a while that I listed that there because I wanted folks to understand that not only can I dance, but I also can choreograph. But hello, it is 2014. This founder celebration from 2001 is so not relevant for today. So again, when I was really trying to get myself out there and I wanted to have a full resume, I listed any and everything that was relevant to what I was doing. Okay, and so that's something that you want to do when it comes to modeling, for example. I've done a number of other things since then, and I would definitely have to update all of that. So don't be discouraged if you don't have a lot on your resume. You just want your resume to be clean, you want it to be truthful, and you want to look professional with it. The other thing is keep your resume to one page. The reason for that is, again, this is not a working resume. This is not a resume for you to get a 9-to-5 job. And what you will end up doing is you're going to staple your resume to the back of your headshot. So you can't staple 2 and 3 pages on the back of your headshot, okay? So keep it to one page. Again, you need to list the most relevant work. You need to list your most impressive work on that one page of your resume. Now, another quick tip, I really couldn't show it. I couldn't figure out how to show it on here. But when you staple your resume, you will staple it on the back of your headshot. So here's your headshot. You would literally take these two and you would fold them over. So if somebody were to flip your resume over, flip your headshot over, they're looking directly at the resume. You don't want them to flip that up. What you'll end up doing is you're going to staple here, 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 and here. You'll staple in the 4 corners of your headshot. Start with your headshot with the actual picture. When you take the stapler, you want to make sure that when you staple it, that the smooth end of the staple is actually on the picture, because you don't really want people to see the staple. And so, those ends that actually curve in and they bend over to hold everything in place, that should show up here. So you want to get it as close to the edge as you can without ripping your picture. And that will give you a nice polished look when you actually have to walk into an audition. Now, of course, if you're having to email your resume and your headshot, then of course you're still going to keep it to the one page, but there's nothing to staple. Okay, well, there you have it. That is a very quick how to write your actor resume. Don't forget to download your template and make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. I'm not really sure how you're listening to this, but if you're listening to this via just audio, make sure that you log on to tamikahall.net utilizing the link that is in the show notes of where you are, and you'll be able to actually watch the video, because that'll be very helpful and beneficial for you. So until next time, this is Tamika Hall. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay blessed.